I'd like to welcome everyone to the October 9th, 2024 City of Springfield License Commission meeting. I'd like to call the meeting to order at 5:32 p.m. First item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for the Springfield Board of License Commissioners hearing held on Wednesday, September 25th, 2024. Did all commissioners have an opportunity to review the minutes?
Yes.
Okay. Any corrections? No.
No.
Okay, I make a motion to approve the minutes for the Springfield Board of License Commissioners hearing held on Wednesday, September 25th, 2024.
Okay.
Okay, Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Okay. Next item on the agenda is, I'm assuming you're still waiting for your attorney Riley, you're still waiting for your client?
I don't see him.
Okay.
Yeah,
First item
we
on the-
are. I'll email her right now. Sorry about that.
It's okay. Just let us know when you're ready. First item is a new petition for new annual beer and wines and liquor license for the Farmer's House, DBA The Farmer's House, located at 600 Belmont Avenue. Jose Cuevas, manager of record. Is Mr. Cuevas here? No.
Madam Chair, I think that one's gonna have to be continued because, well, I know it is because the advertisement for the notice for the meeting was not received by the commission. We sent it to them, but it didn't come back as being posted.
Okay. Then, with that being said, I make a motion to continue the new petition for new annual beer and wine liquor license for the Farmer's House, DBA The Farmer's House, located at 600 Belmont Avenue, Jose Cuevas, manager of record, until October 23rd.
Second.
Okay. Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio. You're muted.
Yes, thank you.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Okay. We'll move on to the third item, which is a new petition for a change of DBA from Shadow Lounge to Faces Grill Bar Lounge for Selifer Associates LLC, DBA Shadow Lounge, located at 234 Chestnut Street. Carlos Melendez, manager of record.
I'm actually here representing Shadow Lounge, Pedro Cruzado, owner.
Okay. So Pedro, tell us what you plan on doing.
Well, basically we've been running Shadow since I purchased, just the way that it is, and I just needed a facelift. We did some painting, installed a mural, cleaned up the place, brand new furniture, just to make it feel a little bit more higher class. We made a deal with Olympic Diner next door. We've got a little throughway door next to the bar that's been there for a very long time. It was just never used. And we're going to be offering like little bar menus, almost like a small tapas menu from Olympic Diner, in the hopes that we can start opening up a little bit earlier during the day in through the regular night.
Okay. Okay. Any question from the commissioners?
Carlos Melendez is the manager of record,
Yes, sir.
and that's to remain the same.
Yeah, that'll remain the same.
All right, so we're just doing a facelift, so to speak.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, and change the name to
Yeah,
Faces.
I caught that. Okay, that's it then.
Yeah. I mean, it just, the paint and the cleanup and the color scheme is just something that I hope people enjoy.
Good, good. Good, and I make a motion to approve the new petition for change of DBA from Shadow Lounge to Faces Grill Bar Lounge for Cypher Associates LLC, DBA Shadow Lounge, located at 234 Chestnut Street, Carlos Melendez, manager of record.
Second,
Okay. Commissioner Singleton,
yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
I'm sure,
I see Genesis here, but
right.
uh,
Attorney Riley, are you ready for us?
We are. Yep. Genesis, you're here, right?
It was a second ago. Yes, she is.
She is.
Okay, so this is a new petition for multiple amendments, change of ownership, interest, and officers, directors for La Souq Hookah Lounge LLC DBA La Souq Hookah located at 1 Worthington Street, Genesis Pool manager of record.
So this is a change, essentially in ownership from Virginia Leonore to Genesis Pujols. Virginia and Genesis are sisters, and there's been a transition that's been going on there. The intention was to eventually have the business transferred to Genesis. Genesis took over as manager of record not too long ago, and this is the completion of that. And the transfer is for $1. It's a family business, and it's basically now going to be run and owned exclusively by Genesis rather than Virginia.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from the commissioners?
so Genesis will be 100% owner as of the approval of this transfer. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, and there's a note in the application that she's taking this on for $1, but debts of the business will be transferred along. So she'll be responsible for those, is that?
Correct, and the license is pledged. It's to the former business owner. I forget the name of the entity, but
K&S Family Holding or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So there was a pledge to the prior owner, and that is what you're referring to here?
right, that remains in
Okay.
place on the license. No
Okay.
change there.
Okay.
Now, Genesis, are you gonna continue to be the manager of record, owner
Yes.
and manager of record?
Yes, as of now.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions from the commission?
No.
No. Okay, then I make a motion to approve the new petition for multiple amendments, change of ownership, interest, and officers, directors for La Souq Hookah Lounge LLC, DBA La Souq Hookah located at 1 Worthington Street, Genesis Pool Home, manager of record.
Second,
Commissioner Singleton,
yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Abstain.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Thank you.
Off to dinner, Steve.
Thank you, guys.
Good
Bye.
luck, Jennifer.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Jennifer,
Bye.
Genesis. Okay. Next item is a pre-hearing conference for Place to Be, P2B Springfield LLC, DBA The Place to Be, located at 1000 Hall of Fame Avenue. Gina Luari, manager of records, certificate of inspection not approved. Suspension of common victular license, cancellation of liquor license.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
they did receive their license just recently. So the cancellation is not to be considered. The certificate of inspection was not provided till just recently. So the issue is, just to clarify, it's suspension of the common vicular license because they operated for at least a year, over a year, without a certificate of inspection. They had the old license, liquor license, but this deals with the in this particular section, it deals with the common vicular license. They were sent a a notice of cease and desist by the building department. I verified that with the building inspector. Just recently, they did clear up with the certificate of inspection. They submitted it. They have received the license, but the issue is they went for a long period of time without certificate of inspection while still operating.
Okay,
So the question is what the commission wants to do with a common vicular license. Whether you wish to suspend it, would you wish to give a warning? Would you wish to, what the suspension would be, if in fact that's what you want to do. That's what the issue is on that pre-hearing conference right now.
okay. Thank you, Attorney Bonavita.
So the
So
commission
what-
is the commission has received the building and fire inspection from the building and fire department.
Yeah,
And they
they
have-
received the actual certificate of inspection.
Okay.
We
and they
received it.
paid for their license,
And they actually have the license now.
the alcohol license.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
So the issue is with the common vicular license. If not, if you wish to suspend that, give a warning. I mean, it was approximately a period, I know it was over a year because they were operating on a 22, 23. So the 23, 24 license has just recently, within the last couple days, certificate was received, and then they received the license.
So they've had just a common vic license. And
Yes.
is that now null and void because they have their common vic all alcohol license?
Well, they had applied for a common vic, I think, separately
Okay,
originally.
but that's not necessary now. Is that correct?
That's correct.
I'm sorry, someone else said something.
I did. Sorry.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Okay, so it's not necessary.
it's not necessary. It's still necessary to have a common vic, but
Well,
it's being done a little bit differently now.
Yeah.
If that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think if I may, Attorney Bonavita, just to clarify. The procedural history of this is that they came in for a common vic because they didn't have a liquor license, right? So they were a late renewal. Candidly didn't really comply with that in terms of still serving alcohol, the whole bit, but we'll leave that to the side. But even more importantly, now that they have a common vic, now that they have an alcohol license, encompassed in that liquor license, of course, is a common vic with hours to 8:00 p.m. That's what it currently says in terms of their liquor license. When they had a common vic, they were allowed to stay open later. And I believe that the impetus behind that was, well, they can't sell liquor, so they need to stay open later so they can sell more food. And I would suggest that now that they have been successful in obtaining their liquor license, that would, of course, come in their cover their common vicular license as well.
right. So the common vic that allowed them to stay open to 2 AM is canceled?
Well, that would be your pleasure, but I would suggest to you that now that there's an all alcohol common vic license, that the straight common vic, if that makes sense, for lack of a better term, that now can be canceled because
Yes.
they have an all alcohol restaurant license.
Okay. So are we doing that just because they have their common vic all alcohol license, or are we doing that as a penalty for operating without, I'm confused about what we're hearing here.
Okay, so what we're hearing is it's twofold. So let me go back. If someone can just read me, and I don't have it in front of me, and that's why I'm asking, can someone read me the actual language of how they appear on the agenda?
P2B, Springfield LLC, DBA, The Place to Be, located at 1000 Hall of Fame Avenue, Gina Luari, Manager of Record, it says certified of inspection not provided, I'm assuming certificate, suspension of common victular license, and cancellation of liquor license.
Okay. So cancellation of liquor license is gone because they've satisfied what they need to satisfy. A common vic is no longer necessary. So to clarify, Commissioner Signator, it's not a punishment. It is because it is no longer needed.
Okay, so we just voting on the cancellation of the plain common vic license?
That's correct.
Okay, all right, that makes sense.
Okay, my question is going to be, when was the lifted of the cancellation of liquor license? So when was that straightened out?
Within the last few days. So, proceed, and I haven't been on the call, so apologize if this is
It
redundant.
was just the license. Could you repeat that again? My phone started ringing. I'm sorry.
Okay, I think Commissioner Ramirez was asking in terms of timeline. So if you would indulge me, I'll give you kind of a procedural history of it. So they applied late for a liquor license. Several months went by where we asked them to supply certain information over and over again. That never happened. They were given a common vicular license because their liquor license was not straightened out. The common vicular license was given to them, however, they never got their certificate of inspection or fire inspection from the necessary departments. We sent 2 cease and desist, they continued to operate. Building sent a cease and desist, they continued to operate in spite of our letters telling them to cease and desist. So that's kind of the procedural history of kind of what has happened to this point. And it wasn't until recently, as Attorney Bonavita points out, within the last few days that they have finally received their certificate of inspection as well as their fire certificate. So now they can operate. But again, I think it's important to know, which you'll hear about later, is that they continue to operate in spite of the city telling them to shut down on a number of occasions.
Okay, so I have another question. Now that their liquor license is active, reinstated, whichever way we want, is that now come November or January, they have to reapply for the next coming year?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
With this agenda item, we are going to cancel the common vic license and return them to the hours specified on the common vic all alcohol license, which is 8 p.m.
That's correct.
That's correct.
And that's it? That's it for this agenda item?
Just on that item, yes.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Is that, you're making that motion, Peter?
I will make the motion to cancel the common vic license for P2B LLC and restore their hours of operation back to those specified on the common vic all alcohol license that they have just picked up, which requires them to close at 8 p.m.
That's correct. And I see who is on the call for the place to be.
Gina.
I'm here.
Okay, and you're the owner operator or the manager of record or both?
Both.
Okay, so is that clear that at 8 o'clock there can be no service at all of alcohol?
Yes, that's very clear.
Okay, all right. Not any special events, nothing. 8 o'clock, the alcohol goes away.
Very clear.
They close. They have to
Yeah.
close at 8 p.m.
Closed at 8.
Yes.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Thank you. The next item is the administrative review of incident reports. And there we have the place to be incident of September 26, 2024. Barry, can you tell us a little bit as to what happened on that day?
Yeah, so on September 26th, two detectives were directed to go to the place to be to see if they were serving alcohol. At that point, their liquor license had not been issued to them, and they did not have a valid certificate of inspection. Both detectives ordered alcoholic beverages. They were served the beverages. Other customers, patrons were also ordering alcoholic beverages and being served those beverages. They paid for their drinks. They got an itemized receipt that's included with the report, as well as photographs of the alcoholic beverages. I then went in, I asked for Gina. She wasn't there. I talked to the same male I had spoke to earlier in August when I went there, I believe is Mr. Arch. He told me he was the manager. I told him they didn't have a license to sell alcoholic beverages. They didn't have a certificate of inspection. I also gave him a copy of the cease and desist order that was issued by the building department on August 30th. And I filed the report basically for selling, displaying alcohol without a license, the manager record not on scene, and operating without the required certificate of inspection.
Okay. Any questions for Barry? No.
No.
Okay, so I see here that the police department is recommending that P2B Springfield LLC DBA, the place to be charged with the following violation of 204 CMR 2.052. 3 counts to wit, selling and displaying alcohol without a license to sell alcoholic beverages, manager of record not on scene, and operating without a required certificate of inspection. So I would like to have a motion for a pre-hearing conference.
Second.
Okay. Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. So this should be on for hopefully our next meeting on the 23rd. Okay. That is it for today, unless there's any old business. Attorney Bonavita, did you figure out what you were looking for in terms of old business?
Sorry, I didn't catch the last part.
When we spoke earlier, you weren't sure about an item under old business.
Yeah, that's going to be on for October 23rd.
Okay.
It's the next meeting.
Okay, perfect. Then I make a motion to adjourn at.
Hi, sorry. This is Ryan McCollum. I'm a government relations consultant with Gina. I just had one quick question back on the last agenda item. Is she allowed to serve now, continuing until the next hearing? I just want to be clear so that we don't do something wrong again.
Yeah.
Not after 8 o'clock. She should be closed
Sure.
at
So
8.
she's good to go up until 8 o'clock every night, and then pending this upcoming hearing.
Correct.
Okay, I just want to be clear. So thank you.
Sure. Okay, then make a motion to adjourn at 5:36.
Second.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
I-